What's up athletes, welcome to this video. In this video we're gonna talk about how to run a 5K under 20 minutes. I'm gonna share some tips, I'm gonna share my training plan, the structure about it, and yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. Before we start with the video, write down in the comment section what is your 5K PR and what are you shooting for this year? What is your next goal for the 5K? What time do you want to beat? Write it down in the comment section, it really interests me. And now I would say let's start with the video. So for those who don't know it yet, I made a live stream on Instagram like a couple months back, I think in July or something like that. And there I ran a 5 kilometer in under 20 minutes. The final time was 19:43. And yeah, I thought to myself, I maybe can go faster and maybe can push the limits. I then ran a 5K under 20 minutes. And yeah, now I've set a new PR of 19:06. I made a video about that on YouTube and I will display it somewhere above me. So maybe you can check it out if you're interested in that. It is my 5K PR run. The final time was 19:06, so a huge improvement of the last run that I made, like 40 seconds or something. On this run the conditions weren't perfect, so I think I could have went sub 19, but as it was, the conditions weren't as good and I don't want to blame it on the weather, so 19:06 is my new PR for the 5K. Still a good improvement for me and now I can go fast, so that is the most important thing. And yeah, now I want to share my tips, share the structure I use to run a 5K under 20 minutes. Before I share the tips, I just want to make a quick disclaimer because I'm not a professional coach or something like that. I'm just, speaking of my experience, speaking what I've tested and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not a professional coach, but I want to share my tips, share my experience for you, and maybe you can implement it in your training because it helped me to get a stronger and faster 5K runner. Let's talk about the 5K specifically. To run a 5K under 20 minutes, you need to run every kilometer in about 4-minute pace. So the main goal that I would aim for would be a 3:59 average, so you definitely are under 20 minutes. So if you run the 5K with a 4-minute pace, then 1 kilometer has to be faster that you break the 20-minute barrier. But I think that is self-explanatory. And for some of you that might be easy, but for others this is extremely hard. And now I'm gonna share my tips. So tip number 1 would be have a structure. If you have no plan, that is not good because you then don't know what you have to run on each day. And a plan can really help you to structure your day, structure what you need to do in the week so you can work towards your goal. Make a training plan, write a training plan down, whether it's on paper or digital or both, and then try to be as consistent as possible. Speaking of consistency, this brings me to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is consistency. One of the main factors to get stronger and a faster runner is consistency. You know, it doesn't help if you go only one time in a gym or go only for like one run in a week. It really doesn't help because you then can't build an endurance base, build any muscle up, and yeah, this is not really good. It takes time, dedication and hard work to get a stronger and faster run. And when you run this run, you really can see who did the work and who did not the work, because especially in running, you need to build an endurance base, and without it, you pretty much can't run any faster or get any stronger in running. And for that, be as consistent as possible. Try to execute the training plan that you made and then see the results. Tip number 3 would be have a goal in mind. Ask yourself the question, what do I want to achieve? For us, or why you maybe watch this video, it is pretty simple. You have the goal to run a 5K under 20 minutes. So have that in mind, visualize yourself how you accomplish this goal, and then try to work as hard as possible to achieve this goal. I think if you have a goal in mind, then it's easier to go on a training. If you are not motivated or something like that, then having the goal in mind will motivate you, and it reminds you why you have to put in the work. I mean, as I said before, consistency is key, and if you don't feel motivated or something like that, you may ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? And for that, having a goal in mind, okay, I want to run the 5K under 20 minutes, then this helps you to get motivated and go for the run that you need to do on this day. If you need extra motivation, and check out the motivation video I did. It is video that maybe motivates you and gets you out to run your run. Tip number 4 is don't underestimate the distance. I know for some of you 5K doesn't sound as far as like other runs or something like that, but a 5K is an endurance event. What I mean by that is, even if you're a strong runner, then a 5K is pretty hard, especially if you want to have a fast time. And for those of you who haven't run a 5K in any time, then a 4-minute average pace is extremely hard. So yeah, you have to really put in the work to achieve this goal. Then for the race day, I would recommend to pace yourself, to not go out as hard as you can. So like running the first kilometer in a 3-minute pace or something like that, because then I know maybe the first kilometer feels good, feels fast, but in the end it will really damage you. And this is why I give you the tip to pace yourself, maybe make a race strategy. So for some people it works that they go out maybe a bit harder so they can run a bit slower in the end. For me, what I like is to make the first 2 to 1 kilometers a bit faster, so I have an area where I can move between when I get slower, and then trying to push the last kilometers as hard as I can. But this is totally up to you. Make a race strategy, try to incorporate it in the race and execute it. For the sub 5 kilometer, the race strategy is pretty simple, if you want to call it that way. A simple strategy would be to run with a consistent pace, like with 4 minutes, and the last kilometer you really push it, or you push the middle or the beginning. So this is really up to you. But as I said, don't over push yourself, don't underestimate the distance, because 5K isn't an endurance event and it is really hard to run this fast on this distance. Now, how can you structure your training plan? What I like to do is to make a mixture of 3 different workout types. Those are easy runs, tempo runs and interval runs. Most of the runs are easy runs, so I make like 50% of it are easy runs, and then the other 50% are tempo runs and interval runs. The easy runs are good for building a strong endurance base. I make easy runs like 10 to 15 to 20 kilometers with an easy pace. What do I mean by easy pace? Easy pace is about 60% of your effort, so you can talk to another person while running. This means if you're running with your partner or something like that, then you can have a chat with him while running, and this is about your 60% effort pace. For the tempo runs, I like to do 10 to 15, sometimes 20 kilometers in a tempo run. Tempo runs are in between 70 to 80 to 90% effort, so those are a bit harder workouts over a longer period of time, over a longer distance, and this helps you to get faster over a longer distance and you get used to the pace. So if you think of it, if you run 15 kilometers with 90% or 80%, then it is really hard, and you get faster over the time, and also you get used to the distance and used to the pace. So when you run the 5K seems not as far as if you only run 5Ks only in your training, if you get my point. And lastly, I do interval runs. Those runs are really for the speed workout of the week. Interval runs are there to gain speed, to get faster. So what I like to do is to do like 400 meter repeats, 800 meter repeats, or my repeats. So a structure could be in the first week 12 400 meters with 1 minute rest in between. Then in the second week 6 800 meters with 2 minutes rest in between. And in the third week 3 my repeats with 3 minutes rest in between. So we roughly have those interval runs with 5 kilometer average. I mean, with rest time in between, then it would add up to like 5.5 kilometers or something like that. But you really want to push these interval runs to get faster. Those workouts are important to gain speed, to get faster and to get used to the pace that you're running. You really want to push those runs because you want to run these runs faster than the average pace of 4 minutes or something like that. So really, go to your limit and try to push yourself in those trainings. And what I want to add to this point was, as I said in the beginning, I do a mixture of training and most of the runs are easy runs, but I want to disclaim that you have to find your own style of training for me it works. For me it works that I do mostly easy runs, then tempo runs and interval runs. But this totally depends on the distance that I'm running, that I'm training for. So for example, if I train for a 10K or 15K, 20K or a marathon or something like that, my training plan would look a bit different. For the 5K, I structured my training plan like this and it worked for me. So this is a good sign. But yeah, as I said, find your own style. For some it works if they do more speed workouts. For some it works that they only do easy runs or something like that. But all of this comes through experience in the sport and yeah, through testing and all the kind of stuff. So yeah, don't give up when it doesn't work, because you have to work, have to test and all that kind of stuff, and your experience will then help you to get a stronger and faster runner. And yeah guys, that is it with the video. I hope I can help you to run a 5K under 20 minutes. This is not a professional training plan or something like that. As I said before, this is just my experience, how it worked for me. But I hope these tips can help you to get a stronger and faster runner. As I said, write down in the comment section, what is your 5K PR? It really interests me. And then I would say, if you like the video and want to see more running content, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And then I'd say, I see you in the next video. Bye.